How are you? I'm going to see what's going on over here. I have my laptop here to see if I can see myself live. I don't know that I can. Is anybody here yet? Okay. Let me put on my glasses. Hi! Hey! Who do we have here? Hey, Lauren girl. What's up? Hi. Hello. All right, so I am going to wait for my great friend Alicia to join. When she does. Oh my God, there's Dr. Heather Hirsch. Hi. Oh my God, that's exciting. That is way exciting. Hey. Hello. How's everybody doing? Oh my gosh, it is crazy, right? It is absolutely crazy. I mean, in our lifetime, did we ever think anything like this would ever happen? No, never, never. I think I might even still be in shock and denial, and we can talk to Alicia about that. Where is she? She's not here yet. Now, how do I add her? Hi, Alicia. Hi, how are you? There's a lot of people down here. Can you see the comments?
Yes. Can you hear me?
Okay, great. Yeah, I thought, hi. Okay, quickly, I just wanted to introduce, this is my great friend, Alicia. She also has her own Instagram page called Mexichica Love, where she takes photos of street art all around the world, but her other job is a San Francisco therapist. And Alicia, you want to just introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about what you do?
Yes. So my name is Alicia, and I'm a mental health provider here in San Francisco. I've been doing therapy for at least 20 years now, and I work with children, teens. I work with couples and families. I work with lots of different people, but mostly I work with children and teens. And I'm so happy that you got me on this because I want to help out. I think one of the ways that I'm dealing with this coronavirus scare is contributing. Sharing my skills with other people. It helps me stay mobilized and active versus, sort of feeling like I'm a victim to whatever's happening. And so I want to share my skills with you guys, and hope it helps.
I first want to say thank you because you're a mom and you've got your boys in the other room. And I have my daughter like locked up in the other room. And they want to come out, but they're not going to. So thank you for, I know we're all busy parenting, so thank you for coming and doing this with me.
All right. I will try not to get distracted by the comments, so if you see questions that pop up, you can always ask me.
Okay. All right. I'm going to try and look, and you can just start chatting away, and I'm going to start trying to see some of these comments.
All right. So one of the most important things, there's a couple of things that I want to really emphasize with you guys. One of them is radical acceptance. Have you ever heard of that, Samantha? Radical acceptance?
I have. I love that term. Yeah.
Yes. Because really, the reality is the sooner that we come to terms with what is, the better that we'll kind of deal with the day-to-day stuff, right? So if we resist and we fight it, then we're just going to really get ourselves in a rut. So radical acceptance means just accepting the reality of what is and understanding that this is what I'm having to deal with. It doesn't mean that you are in agreement with it. It doesn't mean that you're buying into it all. It just means I'm going to accept what is, and then I'm going to figure out what can I change. So what can I change about the reality that I'm homebound for I don't even know how long. So what can I do, right? So I can change. One of the things that I've decided to change is my attitude, right? Sort of like what I can change me. I can't change what's happening out there, but I can change me. So I'm going to try to change the way I look at it, my language that I use around it. For example, I refuse to use the term social isolation. I know that that's kind of the buzzword, and that's what, our officials are calling it and stuff, but I'm not going to call it that because guess what? I'm not socially isolated because I've got you here, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Thank God.
Yeah. We're a community, so I'm not going to be socially isolated. I'm just physically isolated, but I've got your community and you're part of it. So that's one of the things that I shift. I shift the way I think about it, the language I use. I don't use things like oh my God, I'm never going to survive this. I say things like, I'm struggling right now. So what can I do? What's within my reach of what I can do to improve this moment, to shift my thinking or my mood? So those little things that you can do kind of really go a long way. Because your
Just
brain,
just the language that you're using in your head, right? Like
Totally.
yeah, okay. This is because I honestly I don't even know. I think I might even be in denial about what's happening. I think how can this actually be happening? You know, so those are things. How do we know we're even dealing with it? I don't even know what's going on. I don't even know what day it is sometimes.
I'm glad that you're saying that denial is not a bad thing. So if you want, you can go into denial for a good day. You know, you can just turn off the news and just know this is what I've got. So I've got my home and I've got my family, and I'm just going to shut that part out, because otherwise you can become overwhelmed. So really, I don't recommend flooding yourself or your brain or your mind or your soul with all the news. You already know what you know, which is you're stuck at home. So anything else?
Right, but we're worried, right? We want to hear that what's drawing me to the computer is I want to hear what's the mayor going to say next? What's the president going to say next? What's happening in Italy? What's happening in UK? There's so much news coming at us so fast, rapidly, that I want to know what's going on. Like, what if I don't know what's going on? So that's kind of this feeling like I'm addicted to the news, and it's making me, you know, a little very, very anxious.
I think you're sort of searching for that thing that's going to calm your anxiety, right? And maybe for you, it is looking at the news, because that's going to calm your anxiety. I feel that for me, some people that works. For me, that doesn't work. It floods me. It makes me more anxious. So I give myself a vacation from that. You know, something that's a luxury we have right now, you and I, because I feel like I'm healthy right now, and the privilege that I have is to turn that stuff off. Some people can't, because in Italy, they're in the thick of it. So they can't possibly maybe turn it off. But even there, I love those people when they were like singing out of their balconies, finding hope, finding unity.
Beautiful.
That's amazing. That's the power of the spirit of people, right? You know what Oprah was saying? I heard her say yesterday, she was saying, what is the bigger meaning that this is going to teach us? What is this teachable moment, this lesson for all of us? Because we're all in this together.
There's definitely a teachable moment. I think we will be forever changed after this, for sure. Yeah.
And so maybe sometimes finding, if you're really struggling, jot down what is the meaning of this for myself, for my family, for my community, for our world, right? For my family, it's teaching us to be very creative with our time. So we're figuring out, what can I do to like pass the time? And trust me, I've got a list of creative things for families out there, and I'll give them to you at some point. But I want you to know there's, for myself and my family, it's finding creative ways to cope with what we've got, with the little space that we have. Some people have backyards. I don't. Yeah. So we make a backyard.
I don't. You know, we don't have backyards. We don't have backyards here. You know, speaking of kids, I wanted to bring this up. So my daughter yesterday just started crying. She was just overwhelmed. I said, why don't you FaceTime a friend? FaceTime, and she said, I don't want to FaceTime anymore. I want to see a real friend. And that, I didn't know how to deal with it at all, honestly. I don't know how to deal with it still.
Well, maybe you join her, right? Like, so one of the things that kids, especially teens, appreciate is validation and normalization. So what I mean by that is you can say, honey, I'm struggling too. I'm struggling too. This is really hard on me too. You know, and that joining might help her feel like I'm not the only one, or you're in that situation like what I am. And then just say, you know, how about for the next 20 minutes, you just tell me what it's like for you. You know, where are you feeling this in your body? What are the thoughts that you're having? And then after that, we can think about what we can do together, or you can do on your own to kind of shift the mood, right? Because do you know how emotions last?
Say that again?
How long do you think an emotion lasts?
Oh, for me, a long time. I don't know. Actually, but they're fleeting, right? They're also fleeting. I don't know. You tell me.
So emotions only last like 40 seconds.
Oh, wow.
I know. But we keep them going with our thoughts and our behaviors. Yeah. So the reality is, yes, she's having, but teens, I have to say, hormonally, and for some of us that are going through life changes, hormonally, it is hard to shift or have control over our emotions, but they really do only last a short time. It's when we tell ourselves, this is never going to get better, that I'm always going to feel this way. Those words, our brain will capture them, and our brain holds on to them. And that's what keeps that mood going, that emotion going, is those negative, those really like catastrophizing thoughts that we have, always and
Which
never.
we are doing, which is happening a lot on the news. Like, it's all ending. The economy is forever ruined. The whole world, that's what we're hearing. And even if you try to stay positive, when you're constantly hearing this from friends and family and Facebook and news, it's hard. You don't want to be naive, right? So that stress is constantly, you're battling, like, am I being naive? Should I do more? Is it true? What's a lie? All that. And it's hard not to then have your child feel that, that your anxiety, and then you might be putting it on other family members.
So one thing that I think that works with teens, but also all of us, by the way, but most grown-ups do it more often than teens. Teens are developmentally in that phase where they're all consuming. It's egocentric. This is the stage where it's all about them. The world revolves around them. So one of the ways to get them unstuck from that is to kind of say, you need to do a couple things today to contribute to others. It gets them outside of that enclosed. And right now they're having that experience, right? Because they're homebound. They can't see their friends. So they're really shutting down into their own self. So developmentally, they're already there. This can also put another layer of it. So I would say, what are 2 things that you're going to do to contribute today? And they can be small. I think you told me something your daughter did yesterday that was really cool. Do you remember what you said that she did? She gave you a mani.
No.
A mani.
And a massage.
That is a way to contribute. That is a way to step outside of herself and do for others. And your reaction of happiness will help her feel, it's sort of like contagious. It helps her feel good. Okay. So doing for others, she can just do a video chat for her grandparents. She can maybe upload a tutorial. What you're doing, Samantha, with your live stream and all those tutorials you put up is you're sharing, you're contributing to others. I'm doing this, right, as a way of contributing, as a way of sort of boosting my confidence, my mood by contributing and giving to others.
Right. It feels like we're helping. Helping.
Yes. Yeah. It gets you outside of yourself because we can get kind of stuck in our own experience.
I love how you always, whenever I talk to you about my daughter, you always bring it back to talking to her.
Yes.
Right. And I think as parents, we're always scolding and telling them what to do, and they're not listening. Instead of, I always try to think about your words. Just talk to her. Like, what's she feeling? Take some time. Listen to her.
Thank you. That's it. That's exactly it. Is listen. I grew up with a parent that really loved to do these like long lectures and sermons, teachable moments. That's great. But I tuned out after like 3 minutes, right? We have to keep what we want to say short, because they'll tune out. They won't hear you anymore. And some of the stuff they've heard before, so you don't need to keep repeating it. And right now we might want to do that. We might want to keep saying, remember, wash your hands because this or this, to get them back connected to reality. We don't need to do that. They already know. We don't need to bombard them,
Okay, they know. Yeah, because I've been doing that with my daughter. Wash your hands. No, don't touch your face. Wash your hands, like over and over again. But
they already know. And I think then we become naggers, and it's okay. I mean, I guess we fit into that category by nature, but we don't need to continuously, because then we'll create conflict with them, and we're kind of stuck with them. They can't escape us. So let's minimize the conflict. But we need something else about that regarding the conflict. Okay. So our kids are going to hate us in general. They hate a lot of what we do and say, right? We're not, the goal of being parents is not to be like a popular, likable parent, right? If they like you too much, it's you're not doing your job. So it's to have a balance between, discipline and affection and love, right? So what I will say to everyone, the other thing that I really highly recommend is maintaining a schedule. And that's really tough to do because many of us haven't worked from home ever. And the kids also haven't been homeschooled, right? But we're not, this isn't anything new. There's a lot of people that work from home. There's a lot of children that haven't been homeschooled. So go and find resources on how other people maintain a schedule while being at home. So the information is out there. It's just not access, we just haven't had to do it. But so
I'm definitely trying. I'm trying to do a schedule. It's been hard. I mean, I get up and I come on stories. I show that I've done my makeup and I've got dressed. And then I get my daughter up and try and get her set up at the computer and ready to work. But yeah, I mean, so far so good. I've got up every day and got dressed and done my makeup. But I'm thinking, am I going to be able to handle this for another how long? But we'll see. I'll keep trying.
I love that you do that because you motivated me to do that, because the first couple of days I was in my PJs and sweats, and seriously, that kind of makes me think I'm on vacation, right? It's sort of this mentally, then you start thinking I'm on vacation. So getting ready, I think, is very important. Finding space to do your work is very important, and maintaining a schedule, which means, by the way, if you're a parent of a child, they got to go to bed during the week. They got to go to bed at a regular time. Yeah. So it helps with sleep. Because what I find from children is because they're not going to bed at a regular time, they're not waking up at the regular time. So they're already skipping a meal in the morning. And really, children need to be having their meals throughout the day and snacks, because meals, eating your making sure you have fuel in your body and sleep, those are the first top priorities to maintaining your immune system, right?
That's good to know. You know, speaking of all of this and looking at all the questions, anxiety. So I had some questions, people grinding their teeth at night. I woke up and had a nightmare that somebody was texting me about the coronavirus. You know, I heard the beep of my phone in my dreams. So obviously, I mean, and my dreams have just been wild, like wild, nonstop wild. And I know I'm lucky. I have a job. I have pay coming in. And I know people are just absolutely so worried if they work in the service industry. They're like, what's going to happen to them financially? In fact, the whole thing goes back to major anxiety, panic. I've had one person say she's been having panic attacks. So what are some things that we can all do at home and even teach our kids to calm us down and get us through that anxiety?
Yes. So what I'm going to recommend, number one, is the nightly rituals that you normally do to go to bed is very important, okay? So we're like programming our brains to fall asleep. We're not programming our brains to then go online and go on screens. So if you brush your teeth, wash your face, put on your warm PJs, whatever it is that you normally do to get ready for bed, make sure you do that, okay? Not to then get in bed and watch screens. I'm sorry to say, I know that is not the most popular thing, but the minute you do that, you activate your brain. So the same thing happens if you wake up in the middle of the night. Avoid looking on your phone, because then trust me, the next night you're going to wake up at the same time with that same. You're sort of programming your brain. Imagine like little puppies and dogs when you're like, you say the word park or walk, they automatically like, right? We're like that too. We can train our brains to automatically wake up. So if you wake up, go to the bathroom, then come back to sleep, don't turn on any lights. Try to avoid that kind of waking up. I'm going to teach you some other skills. Do you want me to teach you some stuff to stay asleep or anxiety, panic?
Let's do it. Let's do it. Come on.
I'm going to stay with the sleep stuff first. The sleep stuff first. Headspace is a free app. You can pay for a whole year to have this app, and they do all kinds of 2-minute mindfulness practice to 30, 60, and all related to either insomnia, work stress. It's called Headspace. Okay. And something I learned from this app was you got to bore your brain to sleep. And what that means is, bore it to sleep. When I was a kid, remember the counting sheep?
Yeah, I do that still. I sometimes still do that.
Okay, but I'm going to show you something that is actually kind of, because when I count from 0 to 100, I lose track real fast. So I wander, my mind will wander, because we do it on the regular. But counting, so they recommended counting from 500 to 0. And how you do that is, you go 500, 499, 498. The minute that your mind wanders and you lose track, you got to start all over again.
No, please.
It takes a level of concentration, and it maximizes boredom. And that is the goal. Okay. Because juicy thoughts, worry thoughts, that's what keeps us up. I mean, I understand some of us have, physical stuff, hormonal stuff that's going on that just naturally gets us up. So I'm not referring to that, okay? I'm just referring to the waking up part, that then you start the worry thoughts, the planning, what I'm going to do tomorrow, or you're the regretting. Oh God, I shouldn't have said that. I shouldn't have done that. What are people thinking? Those don't belong at night in bed. So what you can do is shift your thought to one thing, which is that counting down. It's very boring, but it takes some concentration. The other thing that you can do.
That's good. Because I did 100 down, and then so I'll try 500, and then once you start wandering, back to 500.
Yes, I rarely make it past like 410 or 400. I don't even remember what happened after that. Yes,
perfect.
The other thing that you can do is you can, if you wake up in the middle of the night with a worry, you go ahead and say, you know what? This is a very important worry to me. I do worry. What am I going to do if I can't file my taxes, on time or whatever? So that's an important worry. I don't want to dismiss that. So I visually, I use my imagination, and I have a very big imagination. I visually see myself putting that worry of my taxes in a box or in a bag, and I wrap it up. However, the more imagination you use, the better, because you really do want to shelve it. You want to put that worry somewhere else and say, I'm going to put it away, and I'll think about it tomorrow at 10 a.m.
Wow.
And you give yourself
I love that. I've never heard that before.
Because
I love like actually seeing it physically, wrapping up that, how am I going to pay my rent come, April 1st, wrapping it up, and then putting it like in an imaginary shelf high up in a closet. And that's so great. I do remember from years ago, a therapist once telling me, like, you have all the time to worry tomorrow morning about that problem. Tonight, you have to sleep, right?
And what I want you to do, though, is tomorrow at 10 a.m., because you said you'd do it. Don't trick your brain. Put the timer on, do 30 minutes, and then worry. Because what that tells you is I've got control over that worry. That worry doesn't control me. I've got it. And there's something very powerful, because it sort of loses its power. And then come 10 o'clock, you're like, I guess I don't really need 30 minutes, or you do. And then you figure out a way to deal with that worry.
It seems so much worse in the middle of the night.
Yeah. Well, I think it's because when we're still, our brain gets full of a lot of thoughts, right? Our racing thoughts. It's called the monkey mind. So when we're still, that happens, and that but we can be still, and we need our sleep. So just remember that sleep is so important. The other thing that I'm going to recommend is try not to nap during the day. Because when you nap during the day, then you really are kind of messing with your sleep rhythm at night. A power nap of 15-20 minutes is okay, but once you go beyond that, that's real sleep there.
Speaking of naps and being tired, I've been really tired, and that's not really usually who I am. I'm not doing anything. So why am I'm so exhausted. Yesterday, like, I've been falling asleep watching the movies with my daughter, just like at 9.
I think it's because we're not as mobile as we normally would be. So I think our bodies are getting kind of used to being sort of in this kind of like not as active state. So we really do have to kind of push ourselves to be a little bit more active. Those that can, of course, there's people that can't be doing a lot of movement. But if you can, we have a My Luna bean down here. Oh, because
what is she saying?
Because of anxiety, some people feel a little bit they're exhausted, right? Because all the stress, all that you're taking so much stress. Because of what you're reading and what you're seeing, right? So that's why I would say limit that. The other thing that I will say, you want to do a little bit of practice about what to do when you're having a panic attack.
Can we talk about that?
Yeah, because that's very real. And we'll also go over some of the coping things that you can do later on the regular. But first of all, let's say that you, here's some of the skills that I want you to practice on the regular, okay? Because if I teach it to you now and you learn it now, and then you're like, oh, that's great, I'll use it, the next time I have a panic attack. If that's like in a week or two, guess what you're not going to do? You're not going to remember this, right? It's called muscle memory. So the more that you practice something, even if you're not having anxiety, the more likely you are to then pull it out of your toolbox in a moment of need. Because when you're highly anxious or highly emotional, forget it. You're not going to, you can't think straight. Do you know that our IQ level drops when we're
ready and
in a time of stress? So we can't think straight. So again, if you do this on the regular, you're more likely to go get it. Okay. So
Okay.
we're having birthdays soon this summer, so we're gonna imagine. I like to do this with kids, so I'm gonna teach you the younger version because it's fun. Plus, you'll never forget it. But it's called paced breathing. If you want to look it up online. But this is how I
Breathing.
yeah paced breathing. This is how I do it.
Okay.
So get your birthday cake. Some of us celebrate our birthdays with cake and candles. So get your birthday cake out. What kind of cake do you have?
Me?
Yeah.
Well, it's really hard now that I've gone dairy free, but it's definitely chocolate.
Okay. So it's like a
Definitely chocolate.
vegan chocolate cake.
Yes.
Yes.
Perfect.
All right. So here's my cake, and I got a lot of candles, and it's a lot of candles. So the only way that your wish is going to come true is if you blow them all out at once, right?
Or else it won't come true.
So the point of this exercise is not to take a deep inhalation. It's just to take maybe 2 or 3 counts of a breath in and then extending the breath out. So we make a wish and you blow out your candle. So you make a wish by taking a breath up 2 in and then blow it all out. Ready? Go. Wow, really nice. Wow, Samantha, you did a great job. I love that. You really extended. You emptied out your belly of all the breath. So I want everybody to try it at home. I can see you. My Luna Bean, I can see you. Okay, so really, get your case out. Let's try it again because I want everyone to try it. And then really extend that breath out. So ready? Take your breath in and make a wish. And blow them out. Nice job. And that is called paced breathing. So it's basically taking 2 or 3 breaths in and maybe 6 counts out. And you can do that without the cake, but the cake makes it a little bit more fun. Plus, you can teach it to your kids as well.
And how does that help us calm down?
So thanks for asking. That alone will automatically get you to bring your heart rate down. It's called the parasympathetic nervous system. It just automatically does it for you. You don't have to think about it. There's other things that you can do to bring your heart rate down, but when you do these exercises, it just does it for you. It's kind of nice. But remember, you have to do them on the regular. Yeah. Remember, so I'm going to teach you another one that you can do that will automatically do it for you, which is nice because some of us don't want to think it through. We just want it done. Yeah.
Right. Exactly.
So, all right, you ready? So we're going to reach up. And we're going to imagine there's a tree up there. It's a lemon tree. And so you're going to grab the lemons, okay? And you're going to squeeze the lemon juice out, right? So you're making a fist. And you're really contracting your arms and your fist. And you're just going to keep that position for a few moments. The more that you tense, the easier it'll be. So I'm extending upwards, by the way. So people can see me. But the more that you tense, the more you'll benefit from the release. So you do this.
So we're just holding tension with a fist.
Right. So you should feel it all along your arms. Okay, so hold it for a few moments. Remember to breathe through this. And then when you let go, you can exaggerate that letting go and that release. So just let it go. Let your arms go wherever they may fall. And you should be feeling kind of like the tingling, that letting go, that release through your hands and your arms. And now let's do this.
I like that.
So
I feel like I haven't been this relaxed in 7 to 10 days.
So you have so many muscles in your face. You know that, right? You do that you do the taping of the face stuff. So that means we wrinkle our face. We hold tension in our jaws, our forehead, our cheeks. So we have so many muscles. So I'm going to teach you something that you can do right now to release the tension in your face and your jaw when you clenched your jaw. So this is what you want to do. You ready? We're gonna take one of those. We're gonna take a bite from that lemon. So take a bite, and you're gonna pucker up. All right. You're gonna wrinkle your face. We're gonna look funny to everybody, but that's all right because this is all right. Ready? Go.
Yeah.
And hold that position. Wrinkle your face. Very good, Samantha. Keep it there for a few moments. Very wrinkled nicely. And then let go. So when you let go, you let your face go to this natural position, how it normally would naturally be. And that release sends messages through your body. that like, oh, things are okay. I'm calming down. I'm relaxing. We're like rubber bands. Our bodies can be like rubber bands. So when we contract, we let go, there's a release. There's automatic release and automatic relaxation. So do a hug. Ready? And some of us are self-quarantined on our own, so we really do need a hug. Now,
I know.
Right? Our family members, our partners to hold us and cuddle us. So this is our hug that we're sending to others out there.
I love it.
The more that you are really reaching behind you, you should be feeling the tension in your chest and your upper back and your shoulders. Then you can reap the benefit. The more that you do this, the more you reap the benefits. So tight hug, everybody. Ready?
Can you shake it?
You can shake it, girl. Shake it. Ready and release. Let go. And you should be feeling that release. And you can do it with your legs by flexing your legs as well. Okay, so that, by the way, is called progressive muscle relaxation. You can Google it and you can find a script, or you can do an audio of it if you want. I teach it this way because it's kind of easier to remember, but there's actual things that you can look online and follow. Those two skills are things you can do that will automatically relax your body and bring your heart rate down. It's been proven. There's research that shows this. This is science. I didn't make it up.
Right. That is those were so good. I really, really like those. Thank you.
Yeah.
I remember, well, I don't know if you want to keep on going. You want to keep on with that?
I wanted to see if people wanted to hear what to do if you, if we wanted to move to parenting, or I can do a body scan. That's another one that's really good for grounding. So
what's that?
I do this with my kids, and when I do it with myself, I do it on Headspace. So I do it with an audio, someone guiding me. So basically, what it means is you're gonna check in with your body to see how it's feeling. We basically kind of ignore our bodies often, right? We just kind of are on auto mode, and we like clean, we do our work, we take care of kids, our families, and we forget to check in. Sometimes, you know what? I even forget to go pee until my body's like, hello, you haven't peed, right? And that's not good, because that's really ignoring your body sensations.
Totally.
So
Wow.
a body scan is a way to really tune in. And so what you do is you kind of bring your focus. So I'm going to do it with you. So are you ready?
Do we use our body for that?
No. So just sit, and I'm going to walk you through it. Okay. So close your eyes gently. If you feel comfortable, close your eyes. And now I want you to just zoom in. We're going to like really zoom in your focus to the top of your head. So with your attention, all you're going to do is focus on the top of your head. What is going on right here on the top of your head? And you might notice that there's achiness or soreness or tension or stress. And then you work your attention down to your face and check in with what your face is feeling. Maybe your cheeks are feeling pretty calm, or your jaw is feeling tense.
My jaw is very tense.
Yeah. So all you're doing is you're not shifting anything. You're just paying attention. And then you work your attention towards your throat and your neck. And then you work your attention down to your shoulders. And all you're doing is kind of tuning in to the sensations that are going on your chest, your upper back, your belly, your lower back, your pelvic area. And you work your attention all the way down to the bottom of your feet. And that is just called a body scan. And basically, it's just tuning into your body. I like to use it when I'm going to sleep, because it's really helps me relax. Like, I don't know, there's something about focusing my attention on one thing at a time really helps me relax.
I never do things like that. And I love that. We need you. We all need you in our living rooms with us all the time. I just love it. I know everybody who's watching wishes that you could be with them more often, so you could like walk us through this. But we just need to practice. We need to practice.
Yes, you need to do it on the regular. What we need to do as part of our daily schedule is our mental health, our well-being. It can't just be that we're working and being part. I had a conference meeting with my colleagues, my coworkers, my kids yesterday, my roommates, and I said, you know what? There's something wrong with this picture. Like, I've been doing for you and for others all day. Like I haven't even had 30 minutes to myself. And so my kids were so sweet. They like did the dishes, folded laundry so I could have 30 minutes of yoga time, which was so nice, right? So we really do need to carve time out in this space for like intentional self-care. It can't be that like, well, I had a really nice cup of tea like at the middle of the day. No, if you're not intentionally doing it for self-care, then you're sort of like on auto mode and it's not going to have the same benefits. I mean, it's not a bad thing, but do something for yourself, whether it's like doing your hair, doing some yoga, you can sit and do some drying, or even mindfully wash dishes. You can mindfully wash dishes, right? Yeah. As long as you're completely immersed in that activity, you're giving yourself a break from all the worries or all those like things that you could be doing, right? So
looks like Bridget saying that she wants to take you home too.
Well, maybe you can, except for not right now, right? But we can virtually bring each other home. You can FaceTime me and we can talk some more. So can I give you some parenting skills or no?
Yeah, but wait, I want to ask one more thing because I did have some people DM me about panic. And I know that you've walked me through this before a little bit. Is it called TIP? What is it called?
Oh, the TIP skills. Tipping the body chemistry. So a lot of what I'm teaching you guys today is called dialectical behavioral therapy. You can look it up. Mm-hmm. Marsha Linehan's came up with that. And that's kind of my training. It works for some. It doesn't work for others. But I feel like something that might not have worked for you yesterday or 2 months ago, just be willing to try again because it could work for you now or today, right? So, I'm going to teach it to you. The two skills I already taught you are the progressive muscle relaxation, squeezing and releasing. The other one was pace breathing, right? The other one that I'll teach you is, let's see. So the temperature change. So when we're really worked up, especially our teens, when they get really emotional, and teens on the general will go from 0 to 100 really quick, right? Because they're just more likely to get really irritable and angry and frustrated. So one of the things that I teach with teens is to go splash water on your face, cold water. So they studied these divers that go into the water, and they realized that their heart rate automatically goes down when they go in and dive in the water. And they thought, well, that's interesting. And I think that's a survival mechanism for divers so that they don't drown. If they bring their heart rate down, they don't panic, they stay underwater, right? So if we know it works for divers, I'm not going to go dive in the bay to cool down. I'm going to try this at home. So you can open the freezer, stick your head in there for a few seconds. You can splash cold water. You can hold ice, right?
Hold ice with your hand.
Yes. All of that will cool you down. Because when we are really worked up, when you're in the middle of a panic, when you're really angry, your heart rate goes up, you're overheated, you go into a fight, flight, freeze response, right? And so we're not in any really significant threat here. So you need to tell your body, yes, I'm scared, I feel triggered, but I'm not in imminent threat. So let me cool myself down so then I can go and figure out what to do next.
That is so good.
Yes.
What if you're out in public and there's no ice and freezer?
Mm-hmm. So one of the things that I know where I live is I could just open the window. It's so cold out. so you can always bring an ice pack with you, whatever. But so there's 4 skills. If the temperature change doesn't, you can do intense exercise for a couple of minutes. So I don't know if you can see me. I'm going to try to do it. But what you would do is you would go up against the wall and you do a wall sit, right? So a wall sit for a good, I would say, 2 minutes. After a while,
she's working her quads, so she's just doing like that.
Yeah. So
do it with you.
Right. Thank you. So do it for as long as, I would say, 2 minutes. So after right now, guess what's happening to my legs?
Well, your muscles are all activated.
Yeah, they're starting to shake. They're feeling really tense. And I'm going to have a hard time talking to you because I'm really focused on the sensation that's happening here. So what I'm not focused on is my brain and my thoughts, because really I'm over the top. Like I can feel the tension on my legs, right?
It's burning.
That's the one benefit. The second benefit is when you come out of it after a couple minutes, is your body, yes, your body automatically wants to cool it down and be like, and to recover, go into this recovery mode, right? So I think that's important. So, so that is called intense exercise. For those that can do it, you can hold a plank for a couple of minutes.
Okay. Yeah.
You can do the wall sit. You can do jumping jacks.
Jumping jack.
Yeah, all of that. You go up and down some stairs. All of that, when you're done with it, will automatically calm your heart rate down.
So if you're feeling panic at your house, you could actually just do like 50 jumping jacks, as simple as 50 jumping jacks, and it'll actually calm you down.
Yeah, because when you come out of it, your body's trying to recover from that intense exercise. The other thing about it is while you're doing the intense exercise, you're not concentrating on those things that are triggering you, right?
Yeah. Right. Wow. I love that.
The other thing that I will say about anxiety is during this time, you really have to do the things to prevent your anxiety from getting worse, right? What that means is, like I said, sleep, making sure you take your vitamins or your medicine, right? Doing one thing every day that helps you feel good. And during this time, I would say to do 2 or 3. There's research that shows that if you do multiple things that you feel good about, that you know that you're good at every day, your mood improves along with it. There's a correlation there. So, for example, I like to write, right? I know I'm really good at writing. I like to write stories, so I write. Guess what I started doing recently? I started learning Italian. Me chiamo un passete conoscetti. Buongiorno. Right? So
I mean, we have all this free time.
Exactly. So again, 2 or 3 things every day that you can do. That's going to help you. Make sure that you have good nutrition. Avoid excessive drugs and alcohol. That's hard with alcohol. Yeah. So all those things are going to prevent your anxiety or the depression that you're experiencing from getting worse. Yeah. So you have to do those things to get ready. It's sort of like, how you do all those workout videos and stuff. That's to strengthen your body. We have to strengthen our mind and our soul during this time. So you have to be active in those sort of.
I do know that. I know I've been using working out as stress management for 30 years. But even on top of that, I usually like to go out and walk for miles, and I haven't been able to. So that's been hard. But now, like learning how to, I'm not really connected to. I mean, I'm very connected to my body physically because I dance and I work out. But those things that you talk about, I never do. Like just taking, a moment to feel what's going on in my body. Never do that. So I have to start doing that. Yeah. Because I have been panicking a little bit. I've been freaking out a little bit about everything that's going on. I mean, it's just it's like, wow.
It's surreal. It's
unbelievable.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable.
But the reality is that what I think that the silver lining is that we're not alone. I'm not alone, right? Sometimes, if I'm going through a job loss or if I'm going through a divorce, I feel like my friends really won't get it or my family members won't get it. It's just me. I'm going through this right on my own. And the reality is we're not alone in this. You're going through it just like me. So we have community, and that's kind of nice because it's sort of like a mirror. You're mirroring what's happening with me, and that's amazing in some ways,
Yeah, that's so interesting. On Instagram, Madonna posted something. She's like stuck in her house, Madonna, and she's like going like singing crazy songs in her bathroom, and it made me think, wow, I'm not just doing this alone. Madonna is also. It's true. We're all doing. Yeah. We're all in this together, and that is true. We're all feeling it. Yeah. We're all feeling it together.
Yeah. Colin Kaepernick said something like, "We're all one team now." And it's so true. We're like one team. Yeah. We're all in this together. We can get through this together, right? Yeah. So I'm going to move into some parenting skills because I know we're not the only ones that are the parents out there.
Yes, please.
So one of the things that I was thinking about with regards to parents is how much sort of to expose them. I'm telling you this on a personal level. Some people have different values around this, but my kids don't like to hear information from me all the time about, for example, brushing their teeth or, how much sugar intake. And yes, I'm the mom and I can restrict certain things, how much soda they have, but but they're more likely to hear it from the doctor or the professionals. So I always take advantage when we go to see the doctor and the doctor says, you know what, this is what sugar looks like in your body, or caffeine or whatever. Yeah. And my kids pay more attention, right? Yeah. So in that same vein, I've decided to only allow them to see certain things on the news, right? And always remember that this depends on the age. My kids are a little older, so I let them watch the mayor of San Francisco saying, this is what we're going to be doing. You know, we're going to be holding up inside the house, and you're not allowed, because sometimes if they hear from me, they're like, yeah, whatever, this is just you doing this, or you're being mean or whatever. So I think it's okay to allow them, and you choose, you screen, you're the parent, screen what you think will be okay for them to know. They should know a little bit about why they're cooped up at home. Not too much, and it all depends on their age. So that's the first thing that I would say. The second thing I would say is to keep a schedule. So wake them up at the normal time that they would wake up. In the weekends, you can do what you normally would do as a weekend if you sleep in, or whatever. But on the weekdays, keep a normal routine as much as possible. Okay. There's really cool activities that I was going to tell you guys that you can do that is fun to do at home. But there's probably with kids. But maybe people can start sharing on your little live show here. Okay. So you can have an impromptu dance party.
Oh, hey. No, I love that. There we go.
The other thing that you can do, and I did this with my kids yesterday, they thought it was really fun. It's like sound, it's a sound activity. So we put music on our playlist, on our Spotify playlist, on random. And each song will sort of stimulate a certain image in your mind, and then you draw it out. So it could be a shape, it could be a picture, it could be words. And because music, right, listening and our sensation of hearing, it could be very mindful activity, and it sparks emotions too. So that's a really fun activity that you can do with your kids.
I'm just scrolling through these comments. That's you're such a great mom, Alicia. Seriously, I'm like the last time I played, my daughter's like, you don't play with me, Mom, and I'm always like, why would Alicia do that? And then you send me videos, and you're like, you and your kids are all.
Oh yeah, dancing together. We learned the foot shake dance.
Yeah,
challenge.
That was good.
You can bake together. Baking is plus. Then you're like eating what you're eating what you create, which is also very amazing and beautiful. Something that I'm doing that I'm not that crazy about, but I'm doing it is I'm playing video games with my kids. Not the most popular thing, but I'm joining them. Wow. That is their world. Yeah. That is their world, so I'm joining their world, right? And plus, they want to teach me all about the stuff, the skins and all that stuff. So I am, I do that. The skins, like Fortnite. And then, we build forts together. I know lots of families do that. Play with your pets. Let's see. Gratitude journal. I learned this one from Oprah, but it's also there's research there that shows that when you keep a journal with a list of gratitude, list of things that you're grateful for, it really helps improve your mood. Because again, you're looking at the positives. When we have depression or anxiety, we have a little bit of a tunnel vision naturally because we're kind of consumed by our physical experience of having, anxiety and depression hurts physically. And so we're kind of consumed by that sometimes. Mm-hmm. So if we can just step outside of that for a few moments, it really does help you. And the more that you do it, the better. The other thing that I do with my kids is called the rose, the bud, and the thorn. Did I teach you this before?
No, the rose, the bud, and the thorn.
So tell me what yesterday was your rose, your thorn, and your bud. The rose is what was fantastic. The thorn is something that was not very good. And then the bud is something that you're looking forward to. So maybe let's do that for today. So far today, what is your rose, your bud, and your thorn?
Okay, wait. The rose is something good that happened. Is that correct?
That's right.
Well, for today, it's this. Are we talking about yesterday or now?
Oh, so our conversation right now is our rose. So
I love this so much because I so appreciate all the guidance and wisdom you give to me as just your friend, and I wanted so badly to share it with my followers. So I'm like so happy about this right now. So this is my rose. The thorn is going to be that I'm in here for the rest of the day now. And I also have I have a lot of work to do actually today later. And the bud was what?
What are you looking for tomorrow?
What am I looking forward to tomorrow?
Yeah. What is the bud is something that's going to blossom tomorrow. Something that you're looking forward to.
Wow. Yeah. See, that's hard. Well, tomorrow I think I will do a virtual ballet class when I get off work because my ballet teacher put some videos on YouTube to help all of us who usually go to dance class. So I'm really going to look forward to that because I've never seen my teacher on YouTube before, and I've been going to the same ballet studio for multiple years. So that's something I'm going to look forward to tomorrow when I get off work.
That's wonderful. So what helps, right? You have to kind of step aside and think, what am I looking forward to tomorrow? And I think that's very helpful for us. So I like that exercise for the whole family. And right before bed, my kids and I will check in on that because I want to hear kind of what didn't go so well, but I also want to shift their focus to something positive in the future, right? And something good that happened today. So that is something that you can do with your kids and with yourself. Again, it's all about how to shift your thinking, which then helps you improve your mood.
Well, so you do that with your kids every night? You do the check-in, the rose and the thorn and the bud.
It helps contain
that
them.
That is fabulous.
Because otherwise,
it's
go on a list of like what bad things happened in school, who did what, and so that's okay. Like I want to hear that, but then I want to focus them on what actually. Tell me something good that did happen today, and it shifts their thinking a little bit. Yeah,
that's my favorite thing. I love that so much. I want everybody to do that. You could do that with your partner too. You could do that. You could do it with your husband or your wife.
Yes. Something that I was thinking about for the reality is, how we radically accept what is outside of.
Wait. Sorry, Alicia. Again, radical acceptance. Can you say what it means again one more time?
It sort of
means, maybe missed it.
Sort of means, wrapping your head around what the reality is. We're not. It's sort of saying what I can't change. So surrender to what is. Right now, the coronavirus is on its way to, infecting people, and that's out of our control. We can't, and we're homebound. That's also out of our control. We're not able to get out, right? So what can I control? I can control my attitude. I can control my behavior. I can figure out a way to shift my thinking. So then it empowers me, right? Then I don't feel such a victim to what is, right? So that's what radical acceptance is. The reality, though, Samantha, is that many of us do have shit going on, stuff that we still can't ignore. For example, maybe we're going through divorce, maybe we have chronic pain, maybe we have terminal illness. We have things that we cannot sort of just forget about. That continues in spite of this sort of new existence that we have for now, right? So what I would recommend for people is then what can you plan ahead for, right? So if I can't go to the DMV or whatever because that thing is closed, well, then what's the shorter term goal? Well, I'll fill out the application written or online, or maybe you shift your goal completely and you make a more accessible goal for the next week, right? Because that also gives you a sense of agency. We don't want to become sort of this passive victim role with what is. It's okay to cry about it. If you need to, go for it. Again, give yourself time to grieve what we're going through, but then go ahead and make small goals for the things that you can shift within your means, within your reach.
I mean, I like that you say go ahead and cry about it because I think a lot of people are just pushing down their feelings.
No.
And then they're making jokes and posting, memes and things, but they're not, feeling it. And then it might affect them in other ways, or they might scream at their kids, or they might not sleep in the middle of the night, or they might start drinking extra because they're so stressed. So I really I always want to say, just talk about it. Like, this is happening, right? This is happening. We have to talk about it. Just allow everybody, I guess, to speak about it. It's not going to help by holding it in.
Be authentic with what you're feeling. It really does suck, So there's no doubt. So be with how you feel. I will say this about humor, though. Humor is medicine. Laughter is medicine. So I don't escape by just completely being in, that space of like making fun of everything, but definitely use it to give yourself a break. There's nothing like laughter, right? Laughter makes.
Oh my gosh, I know you're not on TikTok, but TikTok is hilarious. It is. I mean, I'm like peeing my pants. I can't believe how funny it is. So, and even if I go on
I joined TikTok. I'm on TikTok. I had to see what all the fun was about, and now I know. I know it's so fun.
So fun.
And I love that people are like, because people are generationally, homebound. So people are making dances with their grandparents and their children.
Yes.
And I love that. I love seeing families come together. It's so amazing. I think that's
there's a lot of that. So fun. So fun. That's
a couple months ago, I read the book because I never read The Diary of Anne Frank. I think I watched the movies when I was growing up, but I never read the book. I read the book very recently, and of course, our experience doesn't compare to that of Anne Frank. But I will say that was a very inspirational book to me because she was irritated with her parents on the regular. She was mad at her parents on the regular, right? And she also found ways to sort of enjoy life as it was in that home. They lived there for 2.5 years. And I just feel like that book is an inspiration to me because she was such a young kid, kind of like way ahead of her times. So, but the other thing that her parents did that I think that was very important is they kept a routine. The girl had school, like she had school at a certain time. They had meals together, which, by the way, it's so important to have meals as a family together. Just because you're not living in the same space doesn't mean you shouldn't be eating together. Because I don't.
That is so good.
People are kind of like
breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
People are in their own space, right? I'm in my room. I'm in my screens. They're in their room, and then you're not really coexisting. You're sort of just living in this family life, but not really together. So have family meals together. At least one meal a day should be together, where you put your screens away and you just eat.
I wanted to ask you this, and I don't know if you this is even possible or something that you do. I know you have your own private practice, right? Do you ever consider doing appointments via, FaceTime with anybody who would want to contact you, or would that be something that's even possible in the future?
Sure. I mean, I would consider it. Typically, I want to see people face to face so they can also, see me and stuff like that. But I also know that we're moving in a different direction because there's a lot of therapists out there, licensed clinicians that only do video chats, right, or video sessions. So I am very flexible. I'm trying to kind of get with the new times, but I'm a little old school. So I'd be open to doing something like this, or for us to do another live video at another time.
If you prefer that, but I just wanted to put it out there. We're all kind of like figuring out ways to work from home now. We might be working from home. Many of us are coming up with ways and ideas to make income that we ordinarily would have made outside of the house. So just all kinds of options for us. I know we've been on for a while, and I'm going to try to save this and put it up on YouTube. I had a hard time before when I did this, but I'm going to figure it out. And first of all, if you guys don't know, Alicia takes a lot of my photos. So, I mean,
Well, you're my inspiration. I love taking photos. You make it easy. Actually, I just snap. That's all I'm doing. Snap. I don't do anything else.
Please. please. So she helps a lot of people ask me, who takes your photos? So I take a lot of them, but Alicia takes a lot of my outdoor photos. So thank you so much for that. And then check out.
I'm on Mexichica Love, and by the way,
I want you guys to check out Mexichica Love so you can see all of the way she supports public art all over the world. It's so cool. So I want you to follow her there. And I think if you really, really want to get in touch with her, you can either DM me or you can DM Alicia at Mexichica Love, or we can talk about how other ways that you guys can get support during this time. We don't know how long we're going to be at home, right?
Yes, and you know what you guys do too? Like, you upload your own videos with your own skills. You contribute to others, because I'm sure everybody out there, right, has stuff they can do and they can help others. Like us, I want to learn how to knit. So I guess if everybody knows how to knit, upload a video.
You know what? That is a great idea, right? So you use your resources, what you're good at, and then, share it. I mean, this is a great time. So I said, I think she's amazing. She's a therapist. I got to share this. So imagine how many more people can share their skills and knowledge with everybody right now. It's perfect.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's great to recommend to all you guys to go out there and share what you know, like knitting.
Yes.
Teach Alicia how to knit.
Yes. All right, love you guys. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much for being
Arrivederci.
here.
Arrivederci.
Happy what? Mariachi?
Arrivederci. Arrivederci. It's
Arrivederci.
Italian.
All right, you guys.
Bye.
See you later. Comment below. We'll try to answer you guys.
Bye.
See ya. Bye.